Hello everyone, my name is Milo Edwards and I've written a series of articles that are meant to stimulate conversation between men and women and just to hope save relationships and just build stronger bonds. Now this article, this is the sixth of 7 articles and it's called Removing Bitterness from Your Life. Now I've talked to a number of people on the subject of bitterness and it turned out to be more dangerous and widespread than I thought. Now I won't speak of particular incidents because fortunately people have shared a lot of their deep secrets with me and I will always respect the confidentiality of that, and I'm grateful for that sharing because I learn a lot and I can also share with others from those experiences. Now I've always been interested in what people think and how they act in particular, how they react to particular situations and just respond to things in life, the circumstances in their life. I've listened intently and in depth concerning bitterness, and I know I'm no authority on anything, but I've sought to find the truth, and here's my absolute truth. Bitterness has become a major problem existing in our present society, and it's a clear show of a fragmented life. And I consider bitterness a mental problem, even a mental illness due to the crippling effect that it has on the mind, the stagnation of growth and the improper social behavior. Due to failures and letdowns that people have experienced, bitterness has consumed a large portion of our society. There seems to be a fine line between bitterness, deep hurt, and anger wanting revenge. That blurred gray area seems to be where people feel they've crossed the line and or they rationalize their actions. And I'll tell you, 2 wrongs never make a right. But bitterness is deeply rooted anger, and it eats away and becomes extremely painful and resentful and resentment filled due to bad experiences and the feeling of being treated unfair. It can be harsh and unpleasant to accept what has happened to you in your past, filling you with anger, but that anger can seep into every aspect of your life and really cause you huge problems and ruin things for you. You know, it can ruin relationships with family, friends, co-workers, your significant other, you know, and the general public. And yes, you do have a connection with the general public, and when you're a bitter person, they can feel it and see it in you when you're out and about. Now, bitterness will alienate you from people who care about you and who you care about. And it will also cut off new opportunities. You know, it'll stop you right at the door. You know? It's like it's just on you. Bitter. Stop. You're not welcome to come in here. Your bitterness punishes family, friends, and the general public and everyone else for things that have nothing to do with them. You know, and eventually they will tire of you and your ways, and they'll just leave you alone, you know. They'll look at the call ID, be like, no, I'm not answering that. Or when they see you out in public, they'll act like they don't see you. And these are things that you will not be knowledgeable of because people will have given up on trying to be pleasant and happy around you because your energy kills it. And this will create a gap, and this gap will just create lack of communication. Like I've told you, when we're not communicating, we're separating. So, you know, we need to get a handle on this before it destroys more good things in our lives. Many times you don't even realize it seeps so far into your life, you know, creating a resentful attitude that's clear to everybody but you. So you must become aware of yourself and how your actions are viewed by others and how your actions also affect them so you can head off this killer of relationships. Bitterness will put you in a bad place with the divine spirit also because it weakens your divine connection, which is the channel to you receiving your blessings and rewards in divine order that are in store for you. Bitterness causes you to be cruel, antagonistic, arrogant, vengeful, implacable, condescending, stubborn, and grounded in self-pity, you know, and self-hatred and hatred of others. You know, and we really need to get rid of that word hate because nothing comes good from the word hate anyway. Bitterness, it isn't rational. It's your worst enemy and will consume you. Bitterness is the main cause of breakups within your family and within marriages. It's not cheating, loss of job, lack of communication, shutting down, and other things that happen. You know, if you look somewhere inside of it, at the root of the problem will be some bitterness. And it is created to, its creation will present a real problem in any relationship that you have, and it'll be something from your past that you've just dragged throughout your present being, and just dragged it until the point that it just screwed everything up. So don't allow the past to ruin your present. It's difficult to maintain a relationship with a bitter person. They're introverts, they're antisocial, inconsiderate, withdrawn, and indifferent to normal social behaviors. Even strangers avoid bitter people, because a bitter person can just suck the air right out of the room, and they won't allow anybody to be happy around them. They'll poke a hole in everybody's statements, just to try to bring it down a little bit. You can be up here, they don't want you up there. They try to bring you down here. So, how do we get rid of this bitterness? The first thing we must do is release it to the divine spirit. You have to recognize that it's not yours to deal with. Surrender it. It's God's job to make things right. And when you surrender it all to the Lord and let it go, and you truly, truly let it go, you can feel the relief. You can feel the better energy around you, the more positiveness. It's as simple as saying, Lord, I surrender to thee all that I have, the good, the bad, the ugly, I surrender it to you. Do with it as you will. I'm but a vessel. Work with me and work through me to allow whatever you want to happen. I surrender. I'm here, I'm happy, I'm open to receive. It's as simple as that. Let it go. And then when you say it, you have to mean it, and you have to want positive things to happen, and then tell yourself the truth about your life, the role you played in the drama, and surrender it. You can change. Things can change. Circumstances change all the time, but you have to be open to change. And forgive yourself for your misdeeds, and forgive those who have committed misdeeds against you. There's nothing more you can do. You tell yourself the truth about it, what has happened. You change what you can change. Don't worry about what you can't. You forgive yourself, you forgive others, and you let it go. There's nothing more that you can do. But you must also be thankful and acknowledge yourself for the good things in your life and the good things that you've done. Concentrating on the boundless possibilities of positive things in the future, and focus on the positive, nothing negative. Just focus on the positive. When people start talking about negative things, tell them you don't want to go there. You've chosen a positive route. You don't have time for that. You don't have time to sit around and gossip about people and talk about people and be belittling towards others and all of that. You'll find that the more that you're focused on positive energy, better things will happen in your life. You'll feel better. You'll enjoy more peace and contentment in your rejection of the negativity. Negativity can't get into your life unless you allow it in. It's a choice. And bitterness is a choice also. And so once you surrender and make the choice to be positive, loving, honorable, respectful, compassionate, and all the other positives that come along with unconditional love and the joy of living, you'll be enjoying yourself, and other people will be enjoying you and your company too. They may even tell you, wow, I'm really glad to see you. I'm really enjoying being around you. And some may even, that are really closer to you, that they will open up enough to say, I miss you being so joyful and so much fun. I'm glad you're back from that dark place that you went to, because you've been tripping, right? You have friends that will tell you that. So just think about it. There's nothing more attractive than a person that lights up the room, and they're joyful, loving, warm, and approachable. So when you make that change and move towards the positive light, you'll experience beautiful things happening in your life. Doors will open just as your heart has opened, and the abundance of love and positive things will just flow into your life and surround you, and it'll lift you to new heights, because you must choose peace, love, and joy, and let the bitterness go. It's not for you. It's not meant for you. Sit down and have an open, honest conversation with yourself about what's going on in your life, what has happened, and go on and dig that crap up so that you can get rid of it. You have to face it. You have to make yourself more aware of it. Acknowledge it. Admit it. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. Tell the truth about it. Let it go. There's nothing more you can do. You keep holding on to it, and all it's going to do is screw up the beautiful things you have in the present and block you from receiving more beautiful things in the future. So Get rid of the bitterness. Get it out of your life. It is not meant for you. It has no place in your future.